Good morning. Good morning. Here we are. Beautiful. God, the moon still looks full. What's going on there? I thought it's been full for like 2 or 3 days now. 6 o'clock in the morning, heading to work. Thought I'd do a little audio. And yes, it's going to be leaning towards the political side. But, it's going to be kind of a clarification on things. And kind of a rule of thumb about how we all should be handling these days that we see. Okay. You hear about the different things that our president says and does, government efficiency, that's great. That's, really good. Who you got in there, that's your choice. How it's being unfolded, especially as a new department. Okay, you really haven't thought that one out. I'm listening to what's going on in Israel and with the Gaza Strip. Okay, and some of the comments he says there about making it some like some freaking strip, like some Rodeo Drive or Atlantic City Strip or Vegas Strip or something like that with hotels or whatever, and push the people out. And then in the next day or something like that, he turns around and says, there should be a deadline and all the hostages need to be coming in and out. Everything needs to be transited. Okay, there again. My whole take is, I've had people, sit there and bitch about going, well, you got to give them a chance, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, I do. I'm not so much of a hater as much as I can critique. Okay? And there's a lot to unpack there when it comes down to critiquing Trump. Okay? Some of the stuff that he says is berserk. It's just a bizarre freaking... It's delusions of grandeur is what it is. Let's get real. If anybody's been around anybody that has that it's quintessential that. The extremes that he talks about all the time, which is a wide hanger of a door in lingo, is where it all stems from. But I'm not going to go off on that. What I'm going to say is that when you turn around or when I turn around and I say something, like Doge, like the handling of Israel, like the handling of the border, or whatever, pick a topic. And I say some of the things that I say. I can critique. Okay? Wishing the best. Wishing that I hope this all pans out good. And do I believe that this was the smartest thing for him to do? Maybe yes, no, maybe no, whatever. That isn't the point. The point is I can critique. I don't see, and I would do that with any president. Okay? That's the whole point. I would do that with any president. I don't see a lot of Republicans speaking up when he does do things bad, or when he does do things that are like completely off the cuff, off stupid wall. I mean, I don't see anybody saying something. And why? You should be able to critique. If he can't handle criticism, then get the fuck out of the office. And he can't. But I'm not going to go there either right now. If he can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Okay? The way that he is, and he criticizes everyone else, he damn well better be able to expect it coming back, but he doesn't because of his nature. So I'll just say it that way, because of who he is. But, all that aside, I can critique, any one of us can critique anybody, that especially that is elected. We have full right as the one who voted him in. Even though I didn't vote him in, I still have full right to critique him, as I do any president. And when a president turns around and says, turn the faucet on to get the water running in California to put out the fires, I'm sorry, I will critique that. I will say what a stupid fucking comment that was. That's not how it works. I will say that. Okay? As a freedom of speech, I can turn around and critique that. Why anybody in the Republican Party doesn't, I don't know. Because they can't tell me that was just fine. Well, those were some very, poignant words on his part. Those were well thought out. No one can say that. There's not a person, and I can critique right now and say there's not a person in Congress that could turn around and say that was a very intelligent answer to say, because it lacked intelligence. Okay? So, in conclusion, yeah, we can critique. Constructive criticism is warranted. As much as, just like looking at a kid and saying, don't put anything in those two holes when they're looking at a light, and an outlet, electricity outlet. It's you can't critique. The question is, it still comes down. The question is, can they take it? And that's where the crux is. To be able to call out, and I'm going to be harsh and say stupidity, but to be able to call out on the spot idiosyncrasies is what is needed. I don't hear a lot of people calling out like they should do. And if they do, all of a sudden people get offended. Well, you can do it in ways that don't offend. However, there's going to be people that are too thin-skinned that can't handle that kind of criticism. And once again, if you can't handle the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen. Point blank. Okay? When a president turns around and says, turn the faucet on to get water running to put out fires, that lacked intelligence on so many levels. That lacked understanding on so many levels. And maybe it's because he wasn't eloquent enough to be able to talk. I don't know. I have no idea, but he doubled down on it. He loved the idea of being able to say that when it was the furthest thing from the truth. Okay? So, yeah, constructive criticism. And yeah, I can turn around and criticize our president. That's freedom of speech. I didn't vote him in, but I voted. And so, yes, therefore I can. But I'm going to back it up. I'm going to back it up with why. And anybody that wants to, hand it out to any president, that's fine. But you need to be able to back it up with why. This is the problem that we've ran into in this country. I've said this before too. I've ran for years with people going, well, we don't talk about politics or religion. Why not? Because it ruffles feathers? Well, once again, if you can't handle the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen. I'm not going to do it all the time, but if someone starts talking about religion, I'm sorry, we all have faiths. As soon as you don't talk about it, you don't understand it. You're going to run into an ignorance situation every time. Because you're not informed enough. Because you don't talk about it. Broaden your horizon a little bit. Understand the world around you. Understand the people in front of you. So, there we go. That's what I wanted to say. And when I say nothing but love, I really do mean it. I got nothing but love for everyone. I could be crawling in the dirt, or I could be sitting inside a penthouse. And I've learned that it's love that makes the world go round. Acceptance of everyone. Understanding. Standing up for the against those that are trying to tear that down with hate. Okay, that's what the nothing but love means. And I do. I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Got nothing but love for all ya. For any of you that are even ever listening to this. I do this as a chronicle of just my thoughts. This is my therapy. Even at 6 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, on a cold, frigid winter commute. Got nothing but love for you. Enjoy your day. Have a good one.